Once upon a time, there was a girl named Ella who slaved away day and night for her lazy stepmother and her even lazier two stepsisters. The stepsisters nicknamed her Cinderella because one of her many tasks was cleaning the cinders out of the fireplace. One day, an invitation from the royal palace was delivered. The prince was to host a ball, and all of the young ladies in the land had been invited. The two sisters were crazy with excitement, each imagining the prince falling in love with her. Unfortunately, this meant even more work for Cinderella. She had to get her stepsisters ready for the ball. Cinderella dreamed of going to the ball, but she did not have a dress for the ball and had no time to make one. On the night of the ball, Cinderella did her best to help her stepsisters and stepmother. After they left, she broke down and cried. Suddenly, Cinderella saw something which instantly dried her tears. It was her fairy godmother, who had come to grant her wish of going to the ball. The fairy godmother requested a list of very strange things from Cinderella: a pumpkin, 6 lizards, 6 mice, and a rat. The fairy godmother turned the pumpkin into a golden coach, the lizards into footmen, the rat into a coachman, and the mice into a set of fine, strong horses. Cinderella was amazed, but worried her fairy godmother might have used up all of her magic. But soon her worries disappeared. She found herself spinning in a cloud of sparkling fairy dust. Suddenly, she was dressed in a gorgeous ball gown, glittering jewels, and the most amazing glass slippers. As Cinderella's godmother gave her a kiss goodbye, she warned that the magic would wear off at midnight. Cinderella must be sure to leave the castle by then. When the king's son heard that a magnificent golden coach was arriving at the castle, he ran out to meet the beautiful lady emerging from it. Everyone stopped to admire the mystery woman, whom the prince escorted into the ballroom. Even the musicians stopped playing when they entered. The prince was so amazed by Cinderella's beauty that he forgot to ask her name. All evening they had a grand time, dancing, talking, and laughing. The fun came to an abrupt stop when Cinderella heard the clock strike 11 3/4. She quickly curtsied and ran to her coach. Cinderella pretended to be asleep when her stepfamily arrived home, but she was much too excited and happy to really sleep. The stepsisters bragged about the ball. Then, to Cinderella's delight, she heard one of her stepsisters announce that there was to be another ball the next night. Once again, Cinderella saw her stepfamily off to the ball. And once again, her fairy godmother appeared to get her ready for the ball. The prince was waiting when Cinderella stepped out of the golden coach. As they danced together, it was clear to everyone that they were falling in love. Suddenly, Cinderella heard the first chime of midnight. She fled the castle, and one of her precious glass slippers slipped off as she ran down the stairs. Because the prince was surprised by Cinderella's sudden exit, he was not able to catch up to her. The only proof the prince had that the whole evening had not been a dream was the mystery woman's glass slipper. Even though she was back at home in her rags, Cinderella felt more hopeful than she had in a long time. Somehow, she knew that she and the prince would end up together. She was overjoyed to hear one of her stepsisters say that the prince had vowed to marry the woman whose foot fit the glass slipper. The king's men tried the glass slipper on the princesses, duchesses, and other ladies of the court, but no one could fit her foot into it. When the slipper was brought to the stepsisters, neither of them could even fit her big toe into it. It was as if there was a spell on the slipper. When Cinderella asked to try it, her stepsisters laughed. The king's men were desperate to find the prince's love, so they let Cinderella try the slipper. Everyone was astonished when the glass slipper fit Cinderella's foot perfectly. The king's men whisked Cinderella off to the castle. When Cinderella arrived at the castle, she wore 2 glass slippers, for the spell had not worn off the other slipper, and Cinderella carried it with her everywhere. The king was shocked to see a dirty girl in rags step out of the carriage. But the prince immediately recognized his mystery woman's smile and kneeled before her. Cinderella was relieved that the prince could see the real her through the cinders and rags, and she introduced herself as Ella. A year later, Cinderella and the prince were married, and they lived happily ever after.